Hey YouTube, welcome back. So I've got my 2021 Honda Super Cub here. A few things that I wanted to cover in today's video. One is finding a bag for my little luggage rack back here. Kemimoto, as always, has been good enough to send me a couple of different options. This is I think it's called the frame bag. It's designed mostly for dirt bikes or supermotos where you can put it up here on the frame. But it's a nice small one that I thought might fit neatly here on my little luggage rack. And I think it looks pretty good and works well. You can throw in cell phones and wallets and a few small things. You're not going to move a lot of storage in a bag this size, but I then also have this 30-liter, I think it's called the Sissy Bar bag, but obviously can hold quite a bit of goods inside, so we'll get this on. And then this is the saddlebags that I've tried on a few different bikes, including my Honda Ruckus, which it looked really good on, and then also my Honda Grom, which it works really well on as well. So a really versatile bag that I think will work on this bike too. So the other thing that I wanted to cover was replacing this light. This just came from joss.com. I'll talk a little bit about Joss, not sponsored by them, but it's a cool way to get items from Yahoo Auctions Japan and shipped to the United States. They're like a broker that don't add too many fees and make it really easy. I got this for about $100 shipped, whereas a brand new one would have cost about $250. Anyway, we're going to replace the ugly US lights. I think this is the same as the Grom actually. And sticks way out. At the same time, I'm going to try to, I have some neat little Rizoma lights that I had on the Monkey at one point. I'm going to try to put them there to, again, clean that up quite a bit. In one of my earlier videos, I did the front lights in the JDM/Euro version, which look much cleaner. So this will help complete that look. All right, so back to this frame bag. Again, it's pretty small. I think it's only about 4 inches wide, but I think you could throw it on just about any single bike that you wanted to, given how small it is. It doesn't have snap connectors. It just has these little straps that loop through and pull tight, but the stitching here is rubber, so it does have extra grippiness, particularly if you're trying to put it against the frame of your bike. But again, on a luggage rack this size, it's just fine. Obviously, I could go a lot bigger, but it is something that's small and will be pretty unnoticeable. You know, when you're riding, it's not going to cause any wind noise, and it's something that, again, it just comes off in the regular loop straps. I'll kind of bring it close to show you that it also has this webbing here so that you could potentially put a few other things with a drawstring to pull it tight. And then on the inside, it's got the main storage and then little pockets on the side to hold various things and keep them separated if you want your phone in here and not get scratched. So again, a cute solution that'll fit on this bike and probably any other bike. I think it would look cute if I could have it here on the front of the bike, but since the Super Cub has these really huge fairings, I'd have to run them underneath and pretty close to the engine. That probably wouldn't work for this particular setup, but again, a pretty versatile pack that you could put on most bikes in one place or another, and I think we'll probably most often run it here on the back of the Super Cub. Okay, and here are the saddlebags. I've run this, again, on a lot of bikes, and honestly, it can be run on almost any bike. It has these Velcro straps at the top to be able to adjust the distance between the two. So again, on this one, since the rack actually kind of comes at an angle in the back, I can make this one a little bit shorter to compensate, and in this particular case fits pretty well against the bike. My exhaust is low, as is the stock one, so it's not going to hit the bag. And then it has these other connectors for the bottom that strap in here. So I guess in this case I could do something like loop it through here first, and then strap here. And obviously cinch it down to be a lot tighter, but and actually then for the back here, instead of just sitting it there, I could probably weave them through this little strap. And again, you can make it nice and neat, but maybe the same with the front here, weaving it through. And the nice thing about this then is that in addition to the storage that this provides individually, you could still put another bag on top, like the little frame bag that I was running just a moment ago. And this way, here, I'll even show you, obviously not strapped down, but I mean, that way you could put quite a bit on. So let me show you the 30-liter Sissy Bar bag then that I have. that actually we could probably add to all of this. Obviously, you can run any of these individually, but this has straps here in the back and different loops to keep everything locked in, and then straps that can connect. So in this case, and it's got it both in the back and the front, but I can run these underneath the little luggage rack I have here. And I know it's kind of angled down, it's because it's not filled, but once it's filled with 30 liters worth of stuff or other rigid items, obviously it'll sit a lot more upright. And again, if I was going to go for a long ride where I needed, I don't know, I think the side saddle bags probably also hold about 30 or so liters. If I actually needed this much stuff, I'd spend a lot of time cinching everything down correctly, but you can see with this setup, I can get quite a bit here on the back of the bike. So as I have this bike and I ride it in different configurations and on different rides, I'll include these bags so that you can see the amount of stuff that I'm able to store in it and how well they hold up. But having used a lot of these Kemimoto products for a while now, I'm sure they'll be just great. Again, particularly these side saddle bags I love just because I can seemingly throw them on all of the mini motos that I've got here in my garage. So then wanted to also just show you this bag a little more close up. It does have a lot of waterproofing. It has this front pocket here that comes with additional straps for things that you want to access most easily. And again, I was laying it down like this because I don't have a sissy bar, but these straps here I believe are, if you do have a sissy bar, that is the bar that kind of comes straight up in the back of the seat so that you can mount it like this. It has additional attachments so that you can loop it in that fashion. But then it has zippers here. I like the cool orange inside that they have on a lot of these bags, but kind of a Velcro mesh pocket here for additional items, pockets for pens or knives. I would probably put a 10mm wrench in there like I do on almost every bag I have for rides on any Honda motorcycle. And then the top unfolds here in a fashion that you can put quite a bit of stuff. Inside here it also has a waterproof cover and then more zippered netting areas and other spaces to neatly store all of your stuff. And again, it kind of then wraps up and folds over for kind of additional water resistance and waterproofing. And then is ready to throw back on the bike. Anyway, I will link in the description below to this bag, the little frame bag, as well as the side saddle bags in the description below. So first I'm going to take off my little aftermarket carrier. And in this case it's just this, this is a 14mm socket for the acorn nut, and then this is, I believe, a 6mm Allen key. Looks like there's a couple of bolts here. Well, that only seemed to remove this handle, which I wonder what option goes there. The hell is this? All right, so of course this isn't going to be nearly as easy as I thought it was, because I thought I was going to take these two off, and then I was going to have access to two bolts there, and everything was going to come off. But I looked at a video from DaBinci, and I'll link to his video because he has a very detailed video on how to do it, and it's way more involved than I thought I needed it to be. Funny, he also took this thing off and was like, "What the hell?" I still have no idea what this is, or what it is as an option on some other bike. Maybe it's actually for, maybe it's for the rear passenger seat. That would make sense. But I'm just guessing. Anyway, I need to take off the seat. I need to take off the side panels. You need to take off this little front piece here to have access to unclip and unbolt. And then once you have access to that, there's 2 bolts here and 2 bolts here, and then it all comes off. So I will link to his detailed description if you want to see step-by-step exactly how to do it. Otherwise, I'm going to time-lapse this so that I can get access to what I want to, so I can get this thing off and try to get my new tail light on this bike. We are free. Kind of. Oh, there's a plug right here. That maybe push on this side. Yep. Whew, freedom. So this fender is all metal, so it's pretty heavy. Anyway, it looks like maybe it's just these two bolts that I take out, and hopefully the goofy light comes out, the cool light goes in, and then I just have to find a way to get... this is metal too, huh? So those two bolts are out. These little bendy things all kind of bend. Looks like that piece stays in place. Maybe there's one more little 8mm nut there. I don't know how well my mic is picking up my neighbors working out and talking about HOA problems. There's one more right there. Oh, they're talking about whether or not the pool gets heated or when it gets heated. Those are important conversations. All right, freedom. Freedom, it is off. Let's see if the new one just pops on or not. Because again, I didn't buy a new gasket. Looks like it probably will. Looks like this one came with more... Looks like there's already a nut on each one of these sides, so... Alright, so it looks like this bar is in my way now. Alright, so with that thing out of the way, hopefully this just slips on. Yep, pretty easy peasy. And looks pretty cool. Alright, this project's probably going to go into completing tomorrow, where I'll do an overview. So I need to get everything back together, but one thing for the LEDs, you need to change the flasher relay. It's right here underneath the fender, so make sure that you're doing this. I mean, you'll test. My LEDs were blinking way too fast, so I put an aftermarket one in right there, but that's where the flasher relay is located. Alright, so all finished up. I actually ended up taking it all apart a second time to change out these lights. I was previously running those Rizoma ones, but they had a profile that looked a little too much like a bobber to me. But these are super low profile and look good with the very slim light. Again, cleaning up that hideous light that just stuck all the way out. Let me do a quick function check. Left light, nice and bright, and right light looks good too. These are really inexpensive. I think they're only about 20 bucks. I'll link to these in the description as well, but really happy with the overall look that this now provides, and now can get on to some of the engine modifications for the build. So anyway, thank you all very much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos and keep on building.